Hello, hello. I said hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is a segment here that I want to call and create called Troubleshooting with Tech Jacks. So I'm eating breakfast and I need to get my Windows updates working with SCCM. And it's always been one of those things that gave me tremendous issues because it hardly ever works the way that it should because of some issues with dependencies and crap. So actually, I want to actually make sure that we can do some videos that show us how to deploy Windows updates and things like that. But first, we got to actually get SCCM to sync with WSUS, and it's not. So let's go ahead and try to work through that. So this video is more so of the series that I don't even know. I never actually put up the video. I've made 2 videos now that you guys will not probably see, but it's videos where it's a little bit different than news. It's more so of the background work that goes on when I have to set up stuff and configure stuff. There's a lot of things that might have to happen. None of this stuff is done 0 to 100% without any issues or hiccups. So I'm showing you the issues and hiccups that can happen in between setting things up, because you guys need to see that, you know, when I set these things up or I try to make demonstrations, like there's a lot of trial and error that goes into it, because like I said, this thing isn't just easy button push and then it starts working. It takes time to get everything lined up and working. So I can't even demonstrate a thing like a push or a package push or remoting into a machine, like things like that. It doesn't work by default. You don't just turn on the system and say, oh, look, here's Windows updates. Let me create a software update group and go. Don't work that way. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking. Well, I'm going to keep talking, but let's see. First of all, you see here that we have an interconnectivity issue. It says that we have no internet access. So what we're going to go ahead and do is do ipconfig/all just to make sure that we have internet connectivity. I can go ahead and do something like ping 4.4.4.4. No, so I'm going to do ipconfig release. I disconnect the ipconfig/renew. Did I put that in wrong? Why are they giving me additional parameters? I must have put it in wrong. Yeah, I did a dot. Okay. Renew. There we go. IP. So I should go ahead and be able to ping 4.4.4. Well, I can't ping that. Ping. That used to be one of Google's old DNS servers. I could have sworn. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so we have the connectivity. So now we can get out to the internet. That's fine. So let's take a look at our Windows Update Services. I installed Windows Update Services 3. We didn't look at the help, I think, about Update Services, right? It's 3, version 2, something. I probably should know that. Anyway, I enabled the role on the server. So we have Windows Server Update Services is enabled. And I had to install 2 hotfixes before. So what we're going to have to do is take a look at CM Trace to see what's happening in the back end when we're trying to connect and pull down Windows updates. Let me get this out the way. So, okay, we got an error here. So let's look at these errors, all this stuff. Okay, so Update Services enables to download the Windows updates to this Windows Server Update Service server. You know what? That being stopped doesn't help. It won't help me get updates. So I don't know why it stopped. But let's start it manually. Boom. Okay. Now, let's get back in my, I don't need to connect to this anymore. This was from previous video that I might put up. Might not. You guys are seeing all the stuff that I did in the background for the previous video, but I didn't ever put it up. So let's see. CM Trace. I'm going to go ahead and open up WinSync Manager. And let's actually go ahead and open up another one for the WCM. These are the ones that catalog our attempts to synchronize SCCM and Windows Update services, period. So we got plenty of errors. See, like that one. You gotta look all these up and figure out what's going on. Because this is tough, man. Like I said, one thing about SCCM is you're going to see a ton of errors and you're going to have to figure out what the heck to do, because they give you these long, generic error messages, and then you have to like scour the internet for like somebody in some form in some country who did the right thing, and you're going to run across like 8 other people who did 8 other things, and it might not be the thing that actually helps you out in your situation. But let's go to software updates. All software updates, we're going to do a synchronize. Do a synchronize there. Went ahead and push that. So what time is it? 8:09. Anything with 8:09 popping up here? Doesn't look like it. So here's what I had to install. Checking for supported versions of WSUS, minimum WSUS 3.0 Service Pack 2. That's what I installed. And you get these 2 KBs. So I installed these 2 KBs. Final support assembly, Microsoft Update Services Administration. Now, I don't know what that is. Okay, you got system.net.web exception. The request failed with HTTP status 404, and I found. That might give us a clue to why it's not working, but let me go ahead and actually go back to our update services and figure out what's going on. I don't have a server name. Specify the server to which you want to connect. No, I don't want to do that. So, and I never have used Windows Update Services. I swear, I am not going to sit up in here and act like I have. That's one thing I've never done. I've done all my Windows updates through SCCM, and it hasn't been one of those things that I've been itching to do. It's WSUS, so I don't even know how to pull down the freaking updates. So let's see. We got all updates. Usually there's a synchronization button, isn't there? View update, view, find window, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and exit. Go back to it. I need to disable that freaking UAC. Okay, new update, view, search, updates, search, update. So this needs to be connected to some kind of database, and it's not. So let's go ahead and make sure that our wizard works. That's what the problem is. It should automatically be doing this. So here's the server configuration wizard. Let's go ahead and hit next. I don't want to join. No. Synchronize from Microsoft Update. Yes, that's what we want to do. No proxy. Start connecting for a test, right? To configure Windows Server Update services on the following screens, we need to apply your upstream server and proxy server settings and synchronize information about available updates. So I think this is where we're going to have issues. So let me go ahead and let me see. I'm going to bring that up so we can look this up, why it's not connecting. That's the first issue. What in the heck is going on? This is why I like to use Firefox when I do this stuff, because they're trying to show you guys too much stuff. Let's see. Let's do some snaps. Snaps. I don't want to snap this, do I? I'm going to snap it. Okay, so what we're going to do is say connect to upstream, not connecting WSUS. That's just going to be our search key. Configuring the network. This looks nice. Let's go ahead. Is the server's firewall configured to allow clients to access the server? Can the computer connect to the upstream server such as Microsoft Update? I don't know. Can it? Do you have the name of the proxy server? Configure your firewall. So, okay, so if there is a corporate firewall between WSUS and the internet, you might need to configure that firewall to ensure WSUS can obtain updates. To obtain updates from Microsoft Update, the WSUS server uses port 80 and 433 for HTTPS protocols. This is not configurable. If your organization does not allow port 80 or 443 to be open to all addresses, you can restrict access to only the following domains, so WSUS and automatic updates can. Okay, let's verify if it's a firewall issue just by turning off the firewall. So let's go ahead and turn off the firewall. All this. Stop connecting. And give it another shot. So whatever you said, start all programs, administrative tools, update services 3.9. I don't think that's it, and it's weird because my last configuration of this, it worked immediately, and I didn't have any issues like this. Whereas now it's not connecting. So we're going to have to figure out what's causing this to hang. So I'm just looking through different forms. Command line, if you are using a proxy, which we are not. We're not using a proxy. An HTTP update error has occurred. We don't even know if we got an error because it's just spinning there. Step by step installing and configuring WSUS in Server 2012, I'm sure. WSUS, let's see. There's a TechNet article. If you select that to store updates locally, the wizard pursues select update languages. So no, it's not. It's not any of those. Cannot synchronize to update server. Let's see again. And I know there's a log file that we can look for. So it said, I see a couple of similar posts. I've tried to follow exact issues to resolve, but no luck. I've lost synchronization July 22nd from sync log deinstall. What is all this crap? Okay, so hours later, I've decided that the reinstallation must be corrupt. So what I'm going to do is pause it here because I don't want you guys to have to watch me research this. But as soon as I find it, I'll give you an update and you'll see the time change here. Let you guys know what it is, and I'll explain to you what it was that was the problem with connecting. Okay. All right, we're back. As you guys can see, it's only been 1 minute. It has, and it's been a minute because it connected by itself. I guess. So it's just patience, just some patience, I guess. Just patience. Patience is the key. Download updates in all languages. No, we don't want to do that. We're not supporting anything but English right now. Here's the products that we want to be able to grab. So I'm going to just grab the stuff that we might be pushing in our environment. So office stuff, we don't need dictionary names and all that. 2003, I don't think I'll package any 2003 stuff or 2007. Anything I package would be 2010 to 2013. Let's see what else. We got SCCM stuff. I'm not going to do any packaging in that. The Windows stuff is the only other things that we need. So we need Windows 7. I'm probably going to do some Windows 8.1 stuff. But it will probably come as Windows 8. Windows Defender stuff, not necessarily. We got some drivers. And I don't need most of this stuff. No server 2003. We got some 2008 stuff. And this is just going to be like for test purposes. Anyway, I got some server 2012 stuff that I want to do. XP stuff. Okay, let's just go with those. So we want drivers. No. Tools updates. What kind of updates are these? A broadly released fix to a specific problem addressing a non-critical, non-security related bug. Let's do updates. We're going to do service packs. Let's go with that. We're going to synchronize manually. And we're going to do a begin initial synchronization. And finish. Okay. So with a little bit of patience, and let's do some maximizes here. All right, so some updates are starting to get pulled down. As you can see, this is great. This is great. So this is going to take quite a while. I know that much. So I'm going to pause the video and let this finish up. And then we'll get back and go from there. All right, we're back. I'm still waiting after a restart of those hot fixes that I installed. Let's see. It says I needed to have the KB 272211 and KB 2734608 installed, so I updated those, but I'm still getting some error messages here. I don't think that my sync actually ever got completed, but we'll check this stuff out as soon as it comes up. So we have sync failed, WSUS update source not found on site PS1. Refer to the WCM log. WCM log, we have system.net web exception. Setting new configuration state to 3. Remote configuration failed on WSUS server. So we're going to have to figure that out. So I'm going to open up Windows Server Update Services. And I believe I had over 5,000 downloaded updates as of the last time I saw it. Got up to like 70%, and then I had to restart. So we got synchronized now. Your WSUS currently shows that no computers are registered to receive updates. For information on how to register computers, I have to take a look at that. To do, we have a whole bunch of updates that need approval. So these are unapproved. If I click approved, the select update does not support removal. Okay. I don't believe approve or install. Okay. All computers. Install. Close. Okay, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do all of these. Let's see how long this takes. Oh, it's going to take a while. Anyway, let's go ahead and do another sync. And I don't know why, and it's not pushing anything through the CM trace at all when I try to do an update. There has to be some more Windows updates, software update. I do have a page up here. So let's look at the error messages. SMS, WebNet. So let's see. We have system net web exception. Unable to connect to remote server error. Remote configuration failed on WSUS server. Okay, and 6703 is the ID. I don't think that's the same error. Not getting any error code, so let's look. Let's pull this out. 6703 ID. Okay, here we go. WSUS update source not found on site PS1. Let's see. Up. WSUS update source not found on site. Let's see if we can find out what's going on with this in this configuration manager issue. Start, install, WSUS choose to install database, not weird, configure updates to be stored locally. So synchronizing from there. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Interesting. Software update point properties 8530. It's using 8530 or is using 80. Let's go back and check that out. Let's go to our sites. Software update point. Okay. Products, sync schedule, supersedence, languages. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back to our sites and system rows. Software update point. Let's go ahead and change this to 30. See if we get anything from there. Synchronization, retry at 9:55, wake up. So we're actually getting movement there. We're getting an update here as well. Oh, we're getting a lot of movement here and no red mark. So it was the port number. So everything I had said to set it to port 80. However, this little quick guide that I pulled up here had 8530 listed. So I gave it a shot. Make sure you use port 8530 in the software update point properties. And that got it done, folks. I believe they got it done. Configuration successful. Wait for 1 minute for progress change. So you want to make sure that your port configuration is set. Now the thing is that I have 3 books on this stuff, and they change and bounce back and forth between what you should use and not use for those port numbers. But ultimately, like I said, you try both of them, you'll get something. So this, I'm still approving these updates here. And let's go ahead and open up the other log. So that's fine. It's just going to try another sync here. Successfully inserted WSUS Enterprise update source. So that looks like that's an update source there. So we should be fine. Now all we got to do is wait for updates to start showing up here. I think it's going to take a little bit. We still have a critical showing up here. I wonder if that's going to change. Postpone alert. That's just an alert. Go back to our software library. And as soon as we start getting some movement here, I'll bring this back and we'll see what we have. Because we no longer have any reds here. We have, so this was a issue with the port. WSUS version found. We got the software update point, checking for supported version of WSUS, found support assembly, successfully connected to the port using 8530. That was right. So why was it trying to use 85? It was trying to use port 80 before, but we don't see any indication that that was an issue. That's what it was. Attempted connection to WSUS server port 80. And then that's when the request error happens every time, right after it tries to use port 80. So now that we use port 8530, we were able to verify upstream server settings, successfully configure WSUS server settings and upstream server to Microsoft Update. And we got our connections. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And what I'll go ahead and do is make sure that the synchronization is fully completed, because it only got to like 70% last time. As you can see, it's still running. It's running again. So I'll go ahead and pause this, but we seemingly got rid of our error. So now what I'm going to do is be patient and allow all this stuff to finish, and we'll come back and verify if our SCCM 2012 software updates are now functioning. All right, it's syncing up, as you can see over here, using the WinSync manager.log. It's processing updates, so that's a good sign, and we have an ETA of about 2 minutes. So then this should be finishing up, and then you guys should actually go ahead and see a nice little bunch of updates show up here. And then that should signify that everything is running properly. We're able to get it synced up. So what we did was I had installed Windows servers. I can't never remember the name. 3.3, WSUS 3.0 Service Pack 2 with the KBs, as you can see. And that allowed me to meet the minimum requirements for the version of SCCM that I have installed. Then what we did was we made sure that the port configuration was properly changed to 8530. Wasn't connecting on port 80. I actually did have one set up that it was connecting on 80 and not 8530. So just be careful about your port arrangements. I'd have to do a lot more research on that to determine why that was the case. We were monitoring some of this stuff with CM Trace. It says that we have about a minute here for those updates that get synced. Here's WSUS. It's about 95% as well. So it does synchronize together. Looks like it's running in tandem in terms of its process. So they should be finishing up right around the same time. And then we should see our updates here. And then what I'll go ahead and do is actually create a video on how to create software update groups and deploy them out into the environment. So again, this process here is a little bit different than the other ones. This is different than my how-to videos. This is where I'm actually doing the nitty-gritty of trying to configure stuff and working through the problems and learning things at the same time, because a lot of times, a lot of people don't see that stuff, and you guys don't realize how difficult it might be to try to get basic things to connect and work and sync. And, you know, at the end, you just see the basics, which you're going to get in the how-tos, but as well as that, just to see the process that one might have to go through in order to figure out what's going on and why something isn't necessarily working. So, of course, things like that might take a little longer in terms of the video, but, you know, just helping, you know, hopefully that's what they do. So done synchronizing. So I still don't see any software updates here. So why is that? They should be showing up now. Sleeping 2 more minutes, WSUS server sync results to become available. Okay. So it might take a little bit for those to populate. It looks like SCCM has synced with it, but no items are showing up. Let's see if I can do some criteria. Let's see, download it. No, nothing has been downloaded. Probably don't have any expired. Oh, we should see everything here anyway. I shouldn't even have to do anything. So I'm just going to give it some time to let it sync up. Ran the sync, software synchronizations, updates. That's succeeded. We have a whole bunch of new updates. Let's go ahead and make sure that all these updates are approved as well. I got quite a few that's not approved, but I'm sure that everything is working. So what I'll do is end this video here. And in the next video, I'm pretty sure they're going to be, they're going to show up where they need to show up, which is in all software updates folder here, or our panel here, so that we can actually start setting up a collection and deploying them out into our environments. So again, this is just going to be something with patience. I'm approving the updates over here so that if we ever did any deployments with WSUS, we don't have any issues about that. I do know that you have to accept updates or accept agreements with your updates within. There we go. They're starting now. Within SCCM. So that's a little bit different. When I'm improving and all that stuff, that's for WSUS. It's separate than what you need to do with SCCM, because with SCCM, if you need to agree, then you would have the opportunity to agree using like edit member and things like that, or right clicking on it and hitting the I agree option. That's a part of the actual update. So our updates are coming in. We have 3 so far. So this has been Tech Jacks. Hopefully this video has been helpful. And I'll see you guys in the next video where we actually talk about deploying this into our environment. So thank you guys.